Welcome to the Girl Talk Mental Health. Girl Talk Mental Health dares to go where others won't. We unpack the hard truths about mental health, dissect trending topics, and challenge the stereotypes and stigmas holding us back. From navigating the 6 dimensions of wellness to redefining social norms, this is more than a discussion. It's a revolution in how we care for our minds and souls. Ready for bold, honest conversations that spark change? Let's dive in. It's time for real talk with real impact.
What would your life look like if you stopped asking for permission? In this week's Girl Talk Mental Health episode, Permission, Beautiful, Rewriting the Rules, Reclaiming Yourself, we're unpacking the beliefs that told us to be small, silent, and safe, and replacing them with the bold truth you were born to take up space. Too many of us are quietly breaking under the pressure to perform, people please, and play it safe. Today, we're joined by no other than Courageous Fire, who knows what it means to reclaim your story. So let's welcome her to the stage. All right, tell us a little bit about you so the audience can know who's giving you these tips and tools and encouragement today.
I appreciate that, sis. Thanks for having me here. My name, as Sister said, is Courageous Fire, and yes, that is my name. Um, I, like all Black women, am a survivor. In my case, some of the trauma I've experienced that most sisters think they haven't, some of them are domestic violence and child abuse from my family of origin. Likely, we don't think that was us because our intimate partner or our family didn't physically do things to us. Those and other traumatic experiences developed in me what I like to call a special cocktail of superpowers. Number one, the ability to convert the lessons from those experiences into an educational currency. Number two, the ability to truly see things people don't say to me so that I can identify what they need from me. And then number three, the ability to endlessly adapt old and new lessons into new solutions. I truly believe in abuse reparations. I am relentless in pursuing the ways that those superpowers can wrestle my reparations out of the hands of the abuse and anything else that I've survived. That focus, y'all, placed me on a course that continues to lead to award winning, life changing books, speeches, music, theatrical performances, training, coaching, consulting, and led so far, anyway, to the creation of 2 organizations formed to increase safe spaces for Black women. So that's
All
me.
right, you a package all in one, ain't you? But I'm glad you're here because they need some of this today. So let's start with this. What was a moment in your life where you realized you
Mm,
had been living by someone else's rules, and how did that impact your mental health?
ooh-wee. So when you asking a 56-year-old woman that question, you really asking me to go back through some annals, but I did. And I feel like I'm going to go with the first time that I understood that in my life. And I probably was 19 or 20 to around 29. And it was one of those rear view mirror glance backs, and you go, wow, wait a minute. My managers in my jobs, I was an administrative assistant, so I also did medical transcription and medical secretary, legal secretary. But then I did a lot of choir directing and playing for churches and music minister and all of that. And in all of those roles, I realized that those people were dictating what I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to do it based on the lens that they were viewing me from, on what my duties to them were. And when I looked back on that, like I resented that, sis. I was just like, what the hell? Like, I wasn't super grown, but I was grown enough to resent people just literally taking me and pointing me in certain directions like a little wind up doll.
Mm,
I found myself depressed, severely depressed behind that, I found myself really trying to figure out, okay, then who am I? Do I want to be just rude and nasty so people can't get me? Is it okay for me to be loving and show softness and compassion? When people approach me, what do they want from me? Like, what are they after? Like, what's their end game? And then there was just a whole like rage boiling under the surface for the 10 years of my life that I spent that way.
Okay, that's good. That's powerful. So, what changed everything for you? Because I hear a lot from the Girl Talk mental health community is that I don't even know what I really want.
Mhm.
So when
Mhm.
people try to steer you in those directions, I mean, you kind of like go in that direction, knowing that that purpose and that passion is not where they're steering you to, and but they don't really know what they want.
Yeah.
How do that tap
Yeah.
into that courageous part of them to know what they want?
Mm. I feel like the first way that you tap into that is finding out how you can love you. So if I don't, and a lot of people go, well, that means you're nice to yourself and whatever. No. When I'm talking about love, I'm really talking about like what are the parts of me that people have told me were um unlovable,
Mm,
not attractive, not acceptable. How do I get in touch with those parts of myself and decide these are the things about me that I do love, that I respect, that I admire, that I appreciate, and that I value? And when we start digging away at those things, I feel like that's where everything else jumps off. Because once I love me, then I can make a decision to center what I'm doing from that place. So what I mean by that is, okay, I love me and I'm going to put me first. I'm going to take care of me first, and I'm going to move in the direction that I am hearing is best for me. Not
mhm,
what people think is my duty, not what people think I should be, but I'm just going to be quiet more and listen to me.
mhm. And it's not
All those other
selfish.
voices, no, it's not. Thank you for saying that. It is not selfish. As a matter of fact, it's responsible.
Mhm.
It's responsible, not just to me, but to other people around me.
That's the key because a lot of people do think it's being selfish when you speak up and choose you. So why do so many people struggle with giving themselves permission to rest or to speak up or to choose themselves?
Okay, when we talk about humans in general, it's society, right? Society dictates what is acceptable behavior, um, and how it is okay to move. And if we're talking about in the United States in particular, then we're talking about capitalism. We're talking about colonization. We're talking about patriarchy. So we're talking about those things that have this real narrow hallway that everybody has to kind of make themselves small to fit down that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that once we pull away from what society says, good job, good girl, or good boy, when we pull away from that, there's punishment, there's isolation, there's rejection, there's decreased opportunities, all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And we know that. So we're like, well, I don't want to lose favor. I don't want to lose all those things. So I'll just squeeze myself in this hallway. But what we don't understand is the minute that we go, you know what? I'm going to do what I hear, I'm going to do what I feel, and I'm going to do what is registering as the right thing for me, it actually creates opportunities. Yeah, you might get isolated from the norm of society, but
Mm-hmm.
you're also going to attract all of those other authentic, free thinking people who also have power and opportunities and access, and they're happy to share it with another authentic person.
Right, embracing your uniqueness, because that's the thing why I try to help people visualize, like what you saying, everybody trying to fit into this mold of what society says, which is what the beauty of Girl Talk mental health is that I love diversity. So I want all these different diverse aspects of mental health and what it looks like and the different peoples and the different stories so that people can know you're unique, but there is a click for you and your uniqueness. It's not just this same thing that society
Yes.
says one, two, three, four, five. Like, yeah, society can do that. And if you want to, go that way, fine. But let me find my tribe who
Yes.
matches my unique
Yes.
characteristics. So I don't have to be in a shell and feel like, I have to have have to squeeze myself, that analogy you was using, squeeze myself into society's mold, but I have my own mold where I feel comfortable in my skin and I can go find who I
Yeah.
match. Because there's some people out there you match, right? And it's right here, Girl Talk Mental Health. We got the people who match you, boo. Okay.
Hey, come on now.
Hey, but find your unique tribe. Don't, put yourself off in the shell trying to be like everyone else, the trend, tracing the trends and the what is it in school? We used to do the same thing everybody used to do, whatever used to call. I can't think of the word right now. But be unique, be different, stand out, own your uniqueness because there's very few
Hmm.
people who are unique, but those are the ones with the richest, and that's why it's only 1% and the 2% who are rich or whatever, because
Come
they're
on.
unique. They don't try to
Come
match
on.
the whole society. There's too many there. Let me break
Come
off.
on, sis.
Let me come in
Yes.
here. I'm unique and special, and I'm gonna make this 1 to 2% of these millions and billions of dollars.
Right.
Be
Right.
courageous, right? Walk through the fire. I'm gonna use your name all day. Be courageous and walk through the fire. Okay, that's what she here for.
I love that. I mean, because it's true. When we're looking for a solution that's effective, we're not looking for what's already out here.
Hmm.
We're
Absolutely.
looking for someone who actually found something through digging, through searching, through dusting off, through tunneling out, through shining lights in dark places. We're looking for somebody who's done that type of work for real effective solutions. That's what we're looking for. And the people who bring those are the people who are embracing their authenticity.
Because if you do your research with Einstein, the person who created peanut butter, the astronauts, all these people, they are 1 in a million, and they stood out, and
Hmm.
they did something great, and they
Hmm.
made the money, they made the impact of the world. So you have to stand out, people. Okay, so that's a great point to have a commercial. I think they need to let that soak in a little bit. They need to, like,
Hmm.
while we're gone for these minute and a half or whatever, think about what your unique power is and what it is that you could do, that you stand out from the world and you could speak up and choose yourself over choosing the cluster. Don't choose the cluster. Okay, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Girl Talk Mental Health. Do you ever feel like you're running on empty? Stuck in the same cycle? Or just trying to keep it all together? You're not alone. Stress, depression, burnout, and self-doubt are real, but they don't have to control your life. Imagine feeling empowered, balanced, and truly at peace. At Girl Talk Mental Health, we're diving deep into the real conversations that help you heal, grow, and thrive. From breaking stigmas to actionable strategies, we're here to empower you to take back control of your mental wellness and reclaim your time, your energy, and your joy. Follow us now for expert insights, uplifting conversations, and the tools you need to transform your life. It's time for real talk with real impact. Girl Talk Mental Health. Real conversations, real change. Follow us today at Virginia Dell Manning.
So welcome back to the second half of Girl Talk Mental Health. And whew, if you just not joining and you missed the first half, you need to go back because it got something in there for you about how you can stand out and reclaim your fame and become 1 in a million. Okay. And then, when shift happens, because we're talking about shifting and being different and that, and when you stop waiting and start reclaiming, this is what I want to know. What does that freedom look like?
Mm. Wow. It's powerful. It's powerful. I remember people starting to ask me, how do you always seem to know when I ask you questions or when I come to you what to say to me? I said, because I listen. And I said, and my those things about me that are unique, the way that I am wired, and the way that different things in my life have impacted me has brought out things that allow me to hear. And every time I listen and do what that core tells me, it never steers me wrong. And so it's not that I am magical in a way that you can't be. You can. It's just that I'm listening. I mean, people even talk about like the way I dress and certain things I wear. All of that is listening. Before I got dressed to be on your show today, I listened. Like, I need to wear green. Green is a healing color. Green is a rebirth color. All of those things, this the way that this iridescent earring picks up light, like that. There's a part to that, and it never steers me wrong. And so when I listen to who I should pull into my circle, when even just walking across the room, I am famous for walking into a room, seeing a beautiful, and that's what I call all women is beautiful, seeing a beautiful and seeing her light and hearing something that she needs me to say, and I walk right up to her. We've never met, and I say it. And people go, "You do that stuff all the time." And I'm like, "Yes, I intentionally seek out those moments because it's powerful. That exchange is electric. And that only comes from that stepping out. That only comes from that authenticity. That only comes from that permission. And every time I do that, I ignite that in somebody else and then they start doing it. And I cannot even tell you how many beautifuls have come back to me and said, "Let me tell you, when we had this conversation, let me tell you what I did after that."
That's powerful, yeah. So, and the viewers and the listeners are probably wondering, like, your name is Courageous Fire, and they're like, surely her mother didn't name her Courageous
No,
Fire when she came out of the womb.
nope, nope,
So,
nope,
tell us
nope.
what's the story behind that. Tell us how you became
Thank
that
you.
powerful name.
Thank you for asking. So, it was important to me that I changed my first and last name after domestic violence. There was a certain growl and snarl and whatnot that I started hearing after he was out of the house, and I was trying to create a healthy atmosphere for us to rebuild from after. I realized that just every time I got ready to introduce myself with my name, my stomach would churn.
Hmm.
I would get sick.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? Okay, that name. And I sat with it. What is it about me introducing myself that's doing that to me? And it was what I heard in his voice when he would say my name in certain moments. I'm like, nope, I gotta disconnect myself from that. But it was important to me at the same time to honor the person who had gotten me to that point.
Mm,
So my birth given name was Andrea. Well, I knew that Andrea meant womanly, but I wanted to know if there were other meanings for that name that I didn't know.
hmm.
And how about Andrea also means courageous?
Okay.
My former middle name, I don't have a middle name now, but my former middle name was Kay. And I just thought that was one of those throwaway names that didn't really have no meaning. Like people talk about, Sally Jean or, Marva Sue or whatever. I'm like, that name don't mean nothing, but I'm gonna look anyway just to be sure. And doggone it, if that name doesn't mean fiery or fire.
Mm,
And I thought about even when I was young and shy and didn't do, all the things that good girls don't do. Back then, I still had a fire in me against things that were wrong, things that were cruel, things that were unjust, things
hmm.
that were picking on other folks. And I said, you know what? This has been in me all the time.
Mm,
She just needed to be called out. And that person that's been in here is the person who's powerful enough to
hmm.
move me on in the next phase of my life. The name gives honor to the woman who put me there. But then this is the woman who had to take the rest away.
That is good and powerful. So I know that when you first changed your name, that people were saying this and that and the third or whatever. How did you handle those naysayers?
The only really like naysaying that I feel like I got was people who knew me for years thinking that they got a special pass and that they still get to call me by my old name.
Uh-huh.
Well, I still get to call you. Well, I understand why you're changing. I think that's amazing, but I still get to use it. Or
Mhm.
I think that's a beautiful name, but it's kind of long, courageous. What nickname can I use? And so for the naysayers, that thought that they could call me whatever, it's like, no. I went through trouble, expense, and time to rename myself. Like it costs money to go to the courthouse to change your name.
Okay.
Yes. And I had to wait till the divorce was final because in Iowa, you have to ask your spouse to change your name. And I wasn't going to ask.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to wait till the divorce was final. So I went through all of that. It's like after all of that, nobody gets to call me anything
Okay.
except what I tell them my name is. For the folks that wanted a nickname, it's like there was no shortcut to how I got here. So
And
you
you
don't get to
earned it. You
shorten.
earned that
That's
name.
right. I
Mm,
absolutely did. So you don't get to shorten what it took me all that time and pain to get to. Now you're going to acknowledge all of that.
that is good. That is good. Y'all hear? Y'all can reinvent yourselves. You don't have to need. You don't need nobody's permission. Okay, you could do it. You can reinvent yourself.
Absolutely.
So we are at
Absolutely.
the part that is my favorite part, and that's the spotlight question. Are you ready? Here we go. So, what's one mindset shift or action step you believe could transform how we approach mental health and wellness in our daily lives?
Yeah, I have to go back and expound on when I said that it is responsible to be authentic. And I want to give an example because people think that there's something wrong with living the way you truly are everywhere you go, no matter what the type of room is that you're in. And so I want to give the example of corporate. Say that you are a person that is just wired to just make money. Like that is the thing that you could sell water in the middle of water. Like that's just you. But you feel like it seems greedy or selfish to lead with that authentically because people are going to think badly of you. So you go, well, people will think nice of me if I go to a nonprofit. So you go there. The problem is, nonprofits, people lead by mission.
Mm,
So now you have irresponsibly placed your money driven self in the midst of mission driven people. You're creating chaos, and now you're forcing people to either leave or live inauthentically to adapt to you who are leading with money drive.
mm,
It's irresponsible. We think that it's nice and sweet to do something different, but it's not. The more we are authentic, the more we give permission for others
mm,
to live authentically.
that's good. Well, let the audience know where they can connect with you, and if you have something that you have for them, some special offer, or how they can get what you have for them, or connect.
Absolutely. Well, my favorite group of people, and I can't help but say it because I am one, and we are so often overlooked, is Black women. So I have a lot of things right now for us. So there is a group called the Beautiful Journey. It is a free online community, but it is a place for sisters to be able to connect with each other and to be able to learn those lessons of how they can define success on their own terms and then be able to empower their children to
Mm,
define their futures that they deserve. So I want you to look in whatever Sister Virginia puts out there. Click on that because you can get access to the beautiful journey through there. Also, I have an award winning book called This is for the Other Child, giving permission for people to center themselves in the midst of family trauma. Yeah, you love your family, but center your own needs. It's about my own journey and it gives people permission to do the same. There is a book and there's also a companion journal so that you can heal after you have certain discoveries. This is for the other child, the OC series. Go get you some. It's on Amazon.
All right, and it's going to be connected to her bio inside of the description of the show. We want you to connect with her. We want you to connect with Girl Talk Mental Health, and we want you to connect with yourself, most importantly.
Mm,
So if you have some type of comments, share it with another woman who you think, or man, who you think need to reclaim who they are, need to reinvent, rename their uniqueness. Hey, this show is just for them. Now, thank you for this truth. Like, this is total truth, right? And I'm pretty sure connects with who you are, this truth. And to our viewers, if this touched you or something in your spirit, don't just think about it. Take action, reclaim your life. Click the links in the bio, make some connections, join her community. Watch this episode again. Watch it with your girlfriend, homeboy, homegirl, husband, wife, whatever. But don't forget to subscribe because next week we're going to have more empowering mental health tips right here on Girl Talk Mental Health. And we appreciate you. Thank you for dropping by. Don't be a stranger. We'll be connecting once again. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Girl Talk Mental Health. Remember, your mental health is your wealth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to at Virginia Del Manning.